Got the ring.
Oh, there he is.
Brian!
Yo, how's it going?
All right, Brian, turn your phone horizontal.
Horizontal.
Yeah.
See, I'm an amateur out here.
No, it's fine.
No, you're a professional.
All right, so you're me, right?
Wizard of Oz cup in the shot. Loving it.
You're me. Which beer do you drink?
Cheers.
Jetty Honey Ale or Therapy Session IPA?
Uh, Therapy session, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
The name just gets you, right?
Yeah, it's therapeutic, you know?
Yeah.
I don't drink much, but, you know.
Yeah, that's what I meant to, like, Stan was, hey, asked Boom, and I was like, I don't think he drinks.
Well, even off the names. That works.
I never really drink, man.
If you drink, what would you drink?
What's crazy about it is, like, if I drink, it's, like, strong shit, but I don't drink a lot of it. Like, I'll sip on some whiskey, but I'll have, like, very little amount, you know?
You'll sip on a shot.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Maybe
you're wasted.
Maybe two if you're feeling wild.
Yeah, which is rare, but, you know.
Well, Brian Kelleher, welcome to Menace and the Man for the first time. Stan the Man, Dennis the Menace, who you obviously know. And
Yes,
now we're joined by Brian Kelleher.
Yeah. Brian, I'm not like. Listen, you don't feel well, so I'm letting this one slide that you're not right here with this in your
I
mouth.
know. I would love to be there, but out of consideration too, I don't want to get
Okay.
you guys.
Well, I mean, I would slide you a little bit more towards Stan. Uh,
A good
But-
friend rate.
yeah. So, man, you just came off of a fucking dope win.
Yeah.
Well, even here was what I was going to say is we were at Public House. Menace did an appearance on Saturday, and there's chaos all around. Then we went like, just stop. We need to watch this fight. And then as we're watching your fight, obviously we both know you. You're Long Island MMA, Long Island born and bred. We're watching it. Menace turns, and I always predict guillotine too, but Menace turns to me and is like, this is going to end by guillotine. And he said it to like a crowd of people. And then
Yeah.
when you guillotine the dude, everyone turned and was like, whoa.
Yeah. I'm like,
How did he know?
yeah.
Menace Damas over here.
So me and Boom have trained together many of times. But when he
Yeah.
first came in the gym, it was like every round I went with him, he was catching me in like one or two guillotines. I remember after like two weeks, I'm like, no, not happening anymore. Like, fuck that. Like that's his shit.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Yeah.
like, because the thing is like, what people don't know, and I don't think I should. I don't even know if I should say it. But we're not that blown up yet, so I think you're good. If we were
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, I would be like, all right, hey, I might say this, whatever. But we're not there yet. Is like, he'll guillotine. Man, I've had his back. He's reached around backwards, grabbed my head. I'm like, you don't got shit, and then turned around and guillotined me. I'm like, the fuck?
It's the Boomatine now, right?
I like
Yeah.
that. The Boomatine.
You'll grab his leg, and he's like,
I
go
think
ahead,
I-
have the leg.
I think I have like 6 finishes by guillotine too.
Well, the
They're
thing
racking up.
is I'm watching a fight and I'm like, I haven't seen this one. But
Yeah.
as soon as you grabbed it, I was like, oh, this is where this is going, huh? All right.
Yeah, I haven't hit it like that ever. You know,
Yeah.
weird angle like against the cage like that. It was weird.
Usually people take you down, and you're like, okay. Like as they're taking you down, you're like, okay, go ahead, take me down.
Yeah, catch it and like
You're
the
fucked.
scramble.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, has that always been your move?
Yeah, that's always been like something like that just naturally felt good for me. You know what I mean? I would always go for it. Like everybody I train with kind of knows that because I'm always going for it. So like
Yeah.
these days in the gym, it's really hard to hit now because everyone knows, you know. But like when I go against new guys, I hit
They
it
have
a lot.
no clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You-
go ahead.
You remind me actually of so when I wrestled in college, I had a 125 pounder. You guys about the same height, both were pretty jacked, and it was like before the match even started, it was 2-0 my guy, because he was going to duck you, no matter like whether you knew
No
or not.
matter what, yeah.
He was going to duck you in the beginning of that match, and he was going to be up 2-0. It was always like that.
Yeah.
Like I knew that was his shit, and I would wrestle him in practice. And guess who got ducked? Like motherfucker! I knew you were gonna do that, you son of a bitch. And I was, 3 weight classes above him. Like you
Yeah.
fucking bitch. Like
That's
people,
the craziest shit, man.
like I remember your first fight in the UFC. You were going against that black belt, like high ranked fucking
Alcantara, right?
Yeah, and I was like, yo, he's about to get guillotined.
I remember that before you and Alcantara fought. I had one of those moments where I was watching with people. I was like, Kelleher by guillotine. Then you won by guillotine. I was able to like turn around and be like, "Yep, told you guys."
I wish I threw money at that because you were such an underdog. That guy was a black belt, right? So he's like,
I was a big dog in that one.
Yeah, my jiu-jitsu like better than he like.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what your jiu-jitsu is. Like if he grabs your fucking neck, you're in shit. You're fucked.
Yeah, that fight I caught him in the scramble too. That's how I usually would get it. Like he was kind of trying to get on top of me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. Kelleher probably doesn't even remember when me and him trained together. Maybe he does, but like
did he choke you?
No, he didn't finish it. But here's the story: like Deepa was like, "Go with Kelleher." I went with Kelleher. No, but I remember I remember taking you down and you grabbing a guillotine, and that's like one of my moves that I always escape. And I remember the grip and me being like, this is ridiculously tight.
Like you had the panic.
Who the fuck is this kid? And then when I got out, it was like, oh, no, he wins with guillotines all the time. Like, that's his move. And then I realized you have those wins over Arce, and, like, the guillotine is your move. And then I've seen it through the years, obviously, at the highest level. That's one of those moves. It's either you have a high-level guillotine or you have a basic guillotine.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, you're pretty well-rounded in jiu-jitsu anyways. Like, he's hard to pass Brian's, guard. He can pass a guard. He's
a fucking stud.
You can't armbar him. Like, you can't guillotine him.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like I'm better on top than I am on my back, like pure jiu-jitsu, like on top, my pressure game is better, like passing and like, but I hit stuff in scrambles. That's like when I really catch you,
Yeah. Like, I remember, like, he caught me, like, a few times, like, a couple of weeks. I'm like, all right, fuck this kid. Because the thing is, I'm like, yeah, he's a weight class under me. Like, I should be able to do what I want. And I was like, fuck this kid. Like, fight him, train with him like he's 155. So I just started just doing, like, extreme, like, over-the-top pressure forward.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
I remember
like, hitting him even harder so he didn't feel comfortable doing shit.
He would just start picking me up and shit. I'd be like, oh, no, he can stand me for sure right now.
Like cheating.
You know how you look for, like, that weird confirmation for your own head? I remember being like, oh, he's a featherweight, right? He fights at lightweight. It's like, nah, he fights at 35 all day. And I was like, man, that was a fucking grip.
Yeah. And in your finish, like, the generic finish on a guillotine is, like, on the one side. You were very square. What are you doing with your guillotine that you can be square and it's like it feels like a bear's choking you?
You know what it is? Like in the fight specifically, like his arms were trapped in there, right? So like,
by your legs?
Yeah, by my legs and then also my arm on the other side. So that's why I like the arm in because it's better for like positional control. You can't like spin out. You know what I mean? I got my legs wrapped around you and your arms kind of latched up too. And I had a good chin strap, so my hand's like in your neck. So I'm crunching your neck like in the hand, and his hands were trapped. So like it's just like I'm just crunching his whole body. You know what I mean? And I could hear him kind of gargling a little bit, and like he tapped with his foot because he had no hands.
Right. Now the thing is like I know the UFC. I see their marketing strategy. In my head, you were supposed to be a feeder for that guy.
Oh yeah, that was in my head as well. That was like,
and I saw that. I saw that in your celebration. Like, fuck you guys. Like, hey, I'm not a fucking stepping stone. Fuck that guy, this young buck. Like, I'm the real deal. I'm not going anywhere. And I like, listen. I was, I don't know, probably a bunch of drinks deep, and I was like, yes. Like, cause you were like, you were like a Facebook fight, and then you got moved to like the main card. No,
well, they don't do Facebook.
I know they don't, but in my head, the first
it was a fight pass. Yeah,
fight pass. Yeah,
I know, but the first, what were you? One of the first 3 fights?
I was like the second fight.
Right.
Supposed to be on fight pass.
In my head, those are still Facebook fights. If you're the first 3 fights, if it's that deep, I consider it a Facebook fight. But yeah, fight pass.
Remember those good old days though when they had the Facebook prelims?
Yeah, bro, it's crazy, man. Like they came along. Now it's like ESPN Plus, but they bounce back and forth. But
Yeah, it's so
Fight
weird.
Pass and ESPN Plus. I don't know why they do that.
They just try to get that
Well-
$9.99 and that $4.99.
Well, they're trying to get you to buy both. Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to get that money.
Hey, ESPN, here's some money. Give us money, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna take some money for ourselves over here too.
Yeah, multiple platforms.
One thing that was awesome is I saw the UFC. They gave out extra bonuses, and
Yes.
the homie Boom got one of those bonuses.
Fuck yeah, man.
Dude, I had a great weekend. I had a great time because, like, after my fight, like, I was in the back getting interviewed, and Conor had just got to the arena. Had I not got bumped up to the main card, like, none of this probably would have happened. You know what I mean? Because, like,
Yeah.
that put the spotlight on me more. And then, like, Dana White was in the back, greeting Conor, and he happened to walk by me and just saw me getting interviewed. And he realized, like, oh, that's the kid that just fought, you know? So he came up, shook my hand, and he was, like, happy. And I was like, oh, this is good. Like, this is reassurance, you know? And I told him, like, listen, I want that bonus. Like, there wasn't that many finishes tonight, right?
Oh, you said it to Dana.
Yeah, I said
Nice.
it to Dana. And he was like, yeah, it's looking good for you, brother. So I was like, all right, I think it's, it's highly likely I'll get it.
Man,
That's awesome.
I remember being in that seat. I had fought in Denver. It was my second UFC fight. I finished. His last name was Hayden.
Tommy Hayden.
Tommy Hayden in a standing guillotine against the cage, right?
Oh yeah.
And I was pretty early on the card. Again, it's my second, and I remember seeing the audience like, no, but like I remember Benson had fucking Frankie Edgar in a guillotine. I'm like, don't finish him! Don't finish him! Like, Frankie, stay alive! And Frankie got up, I was like, oh, yes. Because I was like one of the only guys with a finish. And that's when submissions, if you got a submission finish, you were getting a bonus. Like, the best submission finish got a bonus.
Well,
and
both of you guys know this. Guillotines are hard to finish against good guys, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it depends. You know, it depends what position you're in. But yeah, standing, I feel like is even harder to finish.
Yeah.
You know?
Even
That's
well,
why-
I was essentially raising his feet off the ground.
Yeah,
those are the two hardest ones. Standing and arm in. Those are like ones that you
Well,
have to have.
he had started it on top.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's looking really good. But you like it off your back. And
yeah, I
as soon as-
literally I let
you
him
almost
fall.
pulled him on top of you.
Yeah, I wanted him to fall on top of me because
Yeah.
that's like my comfort, you know, to twist my body down. But like,
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing, like you were saying. I was watching in the green room in the back. I was
Yeah, and you're like, don't.
no more fucking finishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like someone in your corner's going out. You're like, yeah, good luck. Just go the distance, all right? Just, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
as they're walking out, you're like, 15 minutes, right? What? Nothing.
You got 15 minutes in you.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Three fives, right?
Yeah.
Best-
Torture him the whole time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Take your time. Be patient.
yeah. Do not rush the finish. Don't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even something I was saying to Menace when we previewed the card, you're almost like the Long Island Road Warrior. Like you trained all over. You still kind of train all over, right? Like you
I don't
bounce.
know what the fuck I'm doing still to this day, man. I'm just all over the place, you know? Like, I'm getting the best work possible. That's what it is. But, like, it's a weird thing because I'm always, like, trying to find new things and, like, it's hard to settle, you know? But now, like, I kind of, like, it was communication, you know? I'm, like, an introvert. So I just show up, train, and I leave. Like, that's just how I am. But I communicated with LaFlare and was like, hey, like, you know, can you help me? Like, can you corner me? And then now we were on the same page. We game planned together, and it was so much better this time around, you know?
Oh, for sure. And
For
that's
sure.
a great fight mind to work
And,
with.
and then boom, because I
Yeah.
saw that. I didn't know that until Ryan. Like I saw Ryan put up some padded work you guys are doing. I was like, oh man, how's he? You know, how's he looking? He's like, man, looking sharp. Like he threw some knives down. I'm like, oh, dope. And I didn't know you guys were working together. And then I don't know, like 2 weeks later, this card happens, and I threw out like to Ryan's wife, like, hey man, I'm having this viewing party. You and Ryan should come through. She's like, he's in Vegas. I'm like, why is he in Vegas? He's cornering Brian. I was like, oh shit. You know,
Yeah,
I was like, oh damn.
good thing.
You know, and hey, boom,
Yeah, go ahead.
you're
sorry.
local. We've trained together. Like, I have some things I think I could bring to the table if you like, and I would, you know, if you need extra work or whatever, I would. We've worked together before. I would love to help you out. If I'm just putting it, you know, on the table, and if it's if you want it, and if I can do it. You know, I just like being around and helping out with good guys, you know.
As far as like being a training partner, you're saying kind
Yeah,
of thing,
training
right?
partner, or if you want to do whatever.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
nasty on the mitts.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Sometimes I sit back and I don't reach out to people and communicate. You know, like I know you said this before in the past, like, hey, hit me up, and I just never say anything.
Yeah.
I'll just show up at the gym.
Yeah.
But you get what you want when you ask. You know what I mean?
For sure. And
Yeah.
listen, I fill this out like Ally Quinta. Yo, man, like especially when I was even training, like, yo, let me know. Aljamain, hey, you want to get some work? Let me know. And Aljamain's been the most responsive to it.
Yeah.
I'm
like
surprised.
when I was training, like he was like, hey man, I got a wrestler coming up, like come through. I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, he's smart with his training, but like a lot of people are stuck in their ways. You know, it's hard to get out of the system.
And that's a big thing, man. Is
There's also that weird loyalty factor, like we've spoken about before.
yeah, but when you're in the UFC though, I think you could train anywhere on Long Island with other UFC fighters, and it's not
You get
like,
a little more leeway.
No,
Yeah.
there's not like, yo, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I
that's
bring
what
my
you really
coach,
like
whatever.
coaches.
Your coach is there. That's whatever. But
Yeah. Some coaches are kind of like, hey man, it's us or nothing, and
Ego.
I don't like that approach.
Ego
Oh,
comes
my
into
gosh.
play, yeah.
boom,
Yeah.
did you wrestle in high school?
No, never.
Okay, because like growing up in high school and wrestling and stuff like that, like it was like my coach would never be like, really, you wrestle in that wrestling club? It was like wrestle at every wrestling club you can wrestle
Yeah.
the best everywhere you can, and
Every body type, the best guy in the room.
Yeah.
Keep moving around.
hey,
Yeah.
go compete against the best guys.
Yeah. You'll never know what's out there, man, if you don't
But
get around.
I see that so much in fighting where guys like, you know what, I'm comfortable here. Like, he's not gonna hurt me. Like, this guy can definitely beat up. You know, he knows what I like. Like, when you actually show up to fucking fight, it's very, very, very uncomfortable. Just standing in the octagon before you start fighting, looking at your opponent, and people going nuts and shit like that. Like, it's actually like a little bit hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like the biggest battle, man. Like the mental part of it's way more serious.
Oh, my
because,
God.
we have the discipline to train hard, but it's getting through the fight week of emotions and keeping that energy where you
Yeah.
need it the whole time.
What do you like? You're a super open-minded guy. How do you manage stress? How do you go about fight week, even the walk out and while you're actually in there before you actually start? Because once you actually touch gloves, it's like it goes away. It's like you're
Yeah.
back to sparring.
I'll tell you what, this fight was crazy to me because I had insane amount of pressure, right? Like leading up to this fight, knowing like, 2 losses, fighting out my contract. First off, this was the last fight on my deal. So like with all this in the back of my head, I was proud of myself because I didn't feel any of that. Like I went into this fight like it was my debut. Like I never lost 2 fights. Like I didn't even know it was my last fight on my deal. I was just like, you know what, Brian? Like, you don't know how long this is going to last. Let's go in. Let's enjoy the moment. Like, let's actually be happy and not fucking stress,
Yeah.
And let's just like be your best self and there's no regrets. And that's like, I kept telling myself that,
Because going into this fight, did you have a couple of losses? I'm trying.
Two. Yeah, he was saying.
Two, like, and the thing is, like, in the UFC, it's kind of like the third loss is like the chopping
snip,
block.
snip,
I mean, and even on like do you work with mental coaches or anything like that?
No, and that's the thing. I'm a
Brian.
little stubborn with that shit, but I
Brian, let's
Oh,
talk.
you two got to link up.
Seriously, no, because I had a mental coach, and I actually got into it a little bit now. I'm working with
it costs a lot of fucking money,
yeah.
right?
You know how much I'll charge you?
I'm a cheap motherfucker, man.
I
I'm trying
know.
to stay
Do you know how much I'll
100.
charge you?
How much? You're saying you're the mental coach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo, man, this
See,
is
that's why I
good.
chose that therapy IPA. See, it was fucking meant to be.
Yeah.
It's something that Menace has tried to
Well, no, hang on.
or
Like,
talked about dabbling into or getting into post-fighting career, and I think it's a great fit for him. I
So-
think that would be a great connection.
well, the
right
thing
there.
is like, so I've been working with a college student at Buffalo University, and he's doing pretty well now.
Wrestling,
I mean, what's up?
wrestling. Or was
Wrestling.
he-
Yeah, you're
Oh,
right.
okay.
Wrestling. I've given out multiple mental preparations to like the reason why I was in Chris Wade's corner for a lot of his fights wasn't because of the information I give to him in the fight.
Physically, yeah.
He liked what I would tell him before he went into the fight. Like
Oh well, I'll tell you what, bro. Just like you saying that, when I watched Chris Wade fight his last like couple of fights, like he looked like a fucking demon. Like he looked completely different from like his UFC fights.
Yeah. So I was just like, yo, man, the guy you're about to fight, like, let's say you met him out in the street, because I know Chris on a personal, I know you on a personal level. Like, what, like, let's say, like, you guys were in a bar fight. Like, what would happen? Like, would he beat you? He'd be like, no, fuck that. I'm like, okay. Do what you would do to him. Let's say, like, you have your daughter at home. This dude came into your house.
Yeah.
How would you, like, you wouldn't be like, okay, let me throw this jab. Because Chris Wade, when he fights, like, for sport, kind of, not that he sucks, he's very good, but, like, when Chris fights almost like a gangster, like, let me put it on this motherfucker, because when Chris fights for sport, sometimes he gets a little tired.
Yeah, hesitant.
And he thinks about, like, whoa, my gas tank. Like, but when Chris fights for, like, yo, I'm going to take this man's life, like, he doesn't care how tired he is. So he can hit that fucking note of where he's super tired and keep going and not pack it in.
Yeah. Let me ask you, because you don't seem like the type of guy who ever dealt with this, but I'm curious. Have you ever went into a fight and got in the cage and thought to yourself, I don't want to be here at all, and just completely shut down?
Didn't shut down. Actually, that's a lie. My very first loss, I fought Drew Fickett, and I didn't know who Drew Fickett was.
Yeah.
Drew Fickett knocked out Josh Koscheck when Josh Koscheck was, like,
undefeated
on his prime.
Yeah.
I was fighting him at 155 in a 3 fights in one night to win tournament in Shine. I met him in the semifinals. He had just armbarred, at the time his name was Crazy Horse, Charlie Bennett.
Oh, yeah.
But he armbarred him in the first round, so he didn't really really stress himself too bad. I went through a 2-round war against Shannon Gergety, who had 5 fights in the UFC, prior to fighting in this tournament. I beat him. I fucking, and I remember, after that fight, going in the back and them just be like, hey, when am I up next? We don't know. Just be ready. I was like, what?
20 minutes, an hour? Just
like, what does that, I don't even know. So I, like, stretched a little bit. I sat for a little bit. I started warming up for a little bit. I couldn't tell you the timeline, but, like, they're like, all right, you're up. And I was like, I remember being in the tunnel being like, man, I do not fucking want to be here right now.
Yeah.
I got out there, but I was like, but I win. That's what I do. I'm undefeated at the time. I'm 6-0. I win. 7-0. So I go out there, whatever, fighting. I fucking belt him. He falls down to his back, and he calls me down. Like, yeah? Like, he's on his back. I'm like, fuck you. So I go down there, and I remember just kind of like, at the Shine, it was a Shine tournament, and at the time, Shine didn't pay all their fighters from the last show. I quit my job at UPS to go enter this tournament where I could possibly win $50,000. I'm like, I'll definitely win that. But they didn't pay. Like, I don't know if they're gonna, like, if I get hurt, would they pay for my medical? I remember he had my chin in a rear naked choke, and I was like, I can stop right now, and I tapped, and I was like, I made $15,000, but I remember being like, I was just so angry with myself
after the fact.
Yeah, like, I was like, fuck this sport. I'm going to quit. But to answer your question, there was matches in college I went into like, man, I don't fucking feel like doing this. What I did to get past that, even though I didn't maybe feel like I could win, I made everybody else in the room believe and think that I could win.
Yeah.
There's some energy with that. So, like, let's say I'm personally feeling like shit. Man, this is, I don't feel 100. This guy's a fucking animal. Let me make Stan think I can win. Like, let me the way I'm looking at Stan, the way he looks at me, the way he sees me move, let me make him think that I cannot lose. And there's something in that.
Energy, absolutely.
Where when you actually go out there, the same, even though Stan's not in there fighting, he's on the other side of the cage. I'm still, throughout the whole fight, going to make Stan believe that I'm going to win this fight. And it's not, a lot of times, it should be about you and what you want. But when you feel like, fuck, you have to try to look for something else. Whether it be like a lot of times, like it could be a girl in the stand. It could be your dad. Because there's something in posture. And like, I didn't know you were going for the Masvidal thing there.
That was amazing.
And afterwards you were like, Masvidal, thank you. But I was like, the look in Kelleher's eyes doesn't seem... I was like, man, does he want it?
Right? Yeah, see, that's it. You know what that look was? That was pure calmness. That's what that was. I know it looked like demotivated, but I was ultra calm.
Yeah. And I've been there. When I fought Clay Guida, I remember the sports psychologist I was talking to was just like, man, I knew you had it by just how you were like, because sometimes when you overdo it, you're like,
yeah, I didn't want
to. There's some insecurity in that.
Yeah.
You know?
Release something.
Yeah, but there are some guys that do that to try and fucking melt their guy before it even starts.
Yeah.
There are some guys that do that very well, and you could tell they're confident in the way they do it. Then there's some other guys that do it, and I'm like, I could tell you're fucking scared.
I did like the reverse psychology aspect of that shit. You know, like I kind of played it like, yeah, man, like whatever. And then, but I was ready to go. You know, I was sharp in my mind.
I spoke to his name is Derek Span. He wrestles for University of Buffalo. I spoke to him today, and I was telling him about how there's fucking a ton of power in not giving a fuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
It's a weird fucking like, because when I wrestled in college, I cared even when I fought the UFC, I cared so much. That fucking, even before the fight started, I was like there was extra weight on my shoulders, extra pressure. I couldn't breathe awesome.
Yeah.
And then I watched my one buddy in college who was like drinking on a fucking Thursday. We got a match on Saturday. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then he got there and fuck shit up. I'm like, I don't get it.
Well, in MMA, it's the John Jones mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, overthinking fucking kills you, man. Paralyzed.
Yeah. So I mean, like what I told him is like, there is definitely something to not giving a fuck, but on the same token, you need to want to win at all costs. So there's some like, everybody's gotta find that balance. So John Jones found that weird balance.
Well,
it takes a long time.
Not giving a fuck, John Jones was TKOing and finishing everybody. Giving a fuck, John Jones is 5-round decisioning people.
And, like, maybe winning.
Yeah.
Like, questionable winning.
More competitive fights. Yeah.
You know? So maybe you just got to start getting fucking high on mushrooms one weekend before your fights.
Yeah. All right. All of a sudden, it's like, you're my new mind coach. We're just eating mushrooms fight week. And
but, I mean, one thing, though, because I think I know you enough where, like, this game is fucking super stressful. What's your release? Where do you, like, where you're not thinking about fighting, training, diet? What's your thing?
Like in general or like as a fight approaches?
Music. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I guess probably as the fight approaches, because it changes for me.
The thing about as the fight approaches for me is, like, I kind of dial in. So, like, everything else gets put aside, you know?
Yeah.
But,
your bills, gas... for me, my kids, it's
like,
a shitty.
Like the music shit is great for like in camp. You know what I mean? Like after training sessions, like it's therapeutic for me, and I kind of break up the day nicely with stuff like that. But like as far as like the fight nearing, like it's more of the way I think. You know, how do I talk to myself? what do I listen to? What kind, because there's voices in your head.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
fucking doubt is talking to you.
Yeah.
Or like sometimes, calmness and confidence is talking to you. And I just make sure to focus on the good energy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
keep it consistent where I adopt that feeling.
Now I was gonna say if we work together. I'm gonna say when we work together because like I've been there and like I've worked with psych coaches or mental coaches where like your advice is good, but you don't know exactly how I feel. You've never done it.
Yeah.
That's what the stubborn mindset.
You've never fucking done it. So how you gonna tell me, hey, take that day off? Like you don't fucking know.
Yeah.
The fuck do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know where this came from?
Yeah.
Right.
Me taking today off is going to wind up when I'm walking down to the cage, me going, fuck, I didn't do enough.
Like, that's where I think I'm going to, like, do I want to be a mental coach for a fucking tennis player? No. I've never played tennis. I think I could be kind of like an everyday coach because I live life every day, an MMA fighter or a wrestler.
Well, that's the thing, man. It's about
I understand them
myself too, because like for me, I track back and I'm curious myself, like where the fuck is all this coming from? Like why did I feel this way or that way? Like I like to think about things like that. I know for a fact getting knocked out by Lineker was my downfall right there.
Right.
Like I had never felt this feeling until after that fight. I never was knocked out in the gym or fighting,
Yeah.
So for me, it was such a foreign feeling.
Yeah.
And it was that feeling of you're no longer invincible, because you think it can't happen to you. You're like, oh no, I'm never getting knocked out. No way. I got a chin and I've been hit hard by everyone. I'm good. Then that happens to you. You're like, fuck, man. Like, like I'm thinking about health and shit like that now. There's no room for that in this game,
Yeah.
That's where my mindset went fucked up. And then I found myself again in the gym. It took like months and months and months. All of a sudden, like you said, that I don't give a fuck attitude goes a long way. I started to feel, fuck it. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm a fighter and I'm gonna train like I need to train, and I'm gonna fight to the best of my ability, and when it's over, it's over. Because like now in the gym, I have that fire in me again. I spar more aggressive and everything like that. For a while, I was hesitant. I was like, I don't know if I should spar.
I've seen it. Yeah. I personally have seen it. I watched you I watched you on your way up to UFC. You get UFC, you're crushing it. That fight happened. And then you became very slick of who you kind of trained with and where you trained and how often you trained. I was like, that's not the same guy now.
Yeah, shit
changed. The thing is you assessed it, you realized it, and then you made adjustments accordingly. Only champions do that.
Yeah.
People that aren't champions go, nah, that made me feel uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I'm good. And that's why Saturday night went the way Saturday night went for you.
Yeah, it took a long time. You know what I mean? It was all just time. Time is everything. Like going into that last fight with Montel Jackson that I lost, like that was really the fucking depressing moment for me because Lineker, I tried to win the fight. I went in there and I fought.
Right.
He caught me. He's a hard puncher. It was what it was. Third round, I got hit with a good shot. Montel, I went in there with the mindset of I don't want to be here. Like that's why I asked you that question. And I just kind of like said I'm gonna get out of here. You know what I mean? And that haunted me, and I was like, nah, that's not happening again. Like if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fucking do this.
Yeah.
That really lit a flame under me to get back to where I was, and that old Brian, and I just knew like, all right, like that old Brian is still you. He's inside you. You just gotta find him.
Yes. So we just had Jared Cannonier on here. He's doing well.
Team Crystal.
Yeah. But I went into 2 fights, not because I wanted to fucking fight, because I needed money.
Yeah, motives.
No, I've got kids. I had rent due. I had bills. I lost my last fight. Like, I was like, man, I can't live off of a loss. Like, legit.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta, like, and the thing is, like, UFC, like, I've noticed whenever I lost, it was 6 months till my next fight.
Yeah.
It just seemed, and after I win, it was like 3 or 4 months till my next fight.
Keep you more active.
You know, but I had 4 losses in a row, and, you know, I needed to fight Feely because I needed money, and I needed to fight fucking, that Skin and Bones fucking, the tall motherfucker.
Elkins.
No, after Feely.
What the fuck was his name again?
Feely was tall.
He had two first names. The fact that we can't fucking think of this guy's name is like painting my picture. Like, all right, I'll fucking crush this guy. And I thought I won both those fights, and I retired after I lost that fucking guy, but nobody knows it.
I thought that was Elkins.
No, I lost to Korean Zombie, Elkins, Feely, then
Rick Glenn.
Rick Glenn.
Yeah.
And I was like, I retired after that Rick Glenn fight, but I didn't tell anybody.
You've had many fights though where you were doing amazing and then lost, right?
Yeah.
Hang on.
All three of those split decisions.
You watched all those. There were split decisions.
Yeah, like you.
I think you were on. Were you not on the Nassau Coliseum card?
Yes. That was on that one. I for Chito Vera, quick fucking loss, depressing as shit.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So you were probably already in your own K-hole, like I should kill myself and.
Yeah. Who'd you fight on that card? On the.
Elkins.
Oh, Elkins. Okay.
Yeah. He took me down a couple times. Whatever. The second round was questionable, and then the third round I crushed him.
Yeah, that was a decision one. I think I remember thinking,
hang on,
oh, you won that.
Who loses? All right, I'm making it about me. It's not about me. I'm just trying to get we talk about this. How many times have we talked about it? Like
a lot.
It's bullshit.
It's
hang on, but that's why I retired. You know, and
but it's also what gives you such great insight
for sure
into the sport.
Yeah, because I had to
highs and lows, and then you had to deal with the weirdest aspect of fighting, which is that the people who judge the fights don't know what they're watching.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it's exactly, Stan. I think I have good
very good insight.
Because I know how to win. I know how to, I know.
It's like fighters should be judges, right? But then again, it's like it makes sense for that, but then you think of it like, well, how do we know which fighters are this guy's friends? You know what I mean?
That's the weird gray area.
You know what? The thing is like, I personally love sport and competition.
Yeah.
Like, boom, you're my boy, but if you got your fucking face pounded in, sorry, dude. Like,
you're scoring at 29-28.
Yeah.
You gotta go,
instead of 30. Instead of 30. Maybe, I don't know, but that's not changing my vote, though.
It's like he definitely lost that third round. Nah, he landed that right hand.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Like, I would call a spade a spade.
And Dennis Bermudez scores the fight. 28-28. This fight's a majority decision.
No, I wouldn't do that. I also think there should be more judges.
Yeah, more judges, and they should be fighters. Or they should be at least
be trained.
Part of your job should be to watch fights.
Now, on the same, I've said this before, Kyle Sermonero, I heard this from Kyle Sermonero, was like, who better to call a fight than someone doesn't know what fighting is?
But
who won that fight?
If that's the case, it shouldn't be 10-9 rounds. It should be the end of the fight, like pride rules.
Okay.
Like fight mentality, like street fight mentality.
Okay. I agree.
Because 10-9 rounds, if you don't know what you're watching, you go,
yeah.
The guy I like more.
Yeah.
The guy I like more.
At the end of the round, right? I bet you so many times these judges are fucking confused. Like, I don't really know, and they just kind of lean one way. Like, this guy ended the round strong. I'll go this way. You know?
So here's one thing I was told. I forget who told this to me, but I was like, holy shit, is that the judges are human beings.
Oh, wow.
Right? So there's a lot of psychological things, Win the first minute of every round and win the last minute of every round. You can win 2 minutes of every round, and you'll win every round.
Yep.
What they remember.
And even something we've talked about with the alpha male guys, and I know it's huge in boxing, is after the round, no matter how the round went, throw your hand up and stare at the guy, because then it looks like, oh, he's inserting dominance. He won that round.
I remember whooping all those motherfuckers' asses, and they're throwing their hands up. I'm like, dude, you just got your ass up. Put your fucking hands down.
Yeah.
And then they won. I was like,
The impressionable judge was
asshole.
like, that guy won. You know, the guy who wasn't really
you
watching
stole
anymore.
the fight from me because you went like, with your black eyes and your fucked up face.
Yeah, that shit makes an impression. They see it, you know?
So that's another thing you could put in there. I mean, you could talk about a ton of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Kelleher, we definitely got to get you in studio. Before we let you go, we'll get your take on this one. Fight in your division. It looks like they're skipping, well, I think it should be Aljamain. It looks like they're going to skip Aljamain. They're going to do Aldo versus Cejudo.
Really?
Yeah.
This shit is getting crazy, man.
Who's got more followers? That's the thing.
Aldo's got millions,
I know.
I'm sure, yeah.
That's what it is.
It just devalues like the whole like becoming a champion, because like it can just get overthrown by, you know, who's a bigger name in the end. Like Aldo's like on a losing streak, you know. I thought he beat Marias barely.
Me too.
Barely.
Yeah, barely. You know, it wasn't a robbery either which way, but it's just crazy that that's the route that they're actually going to go just because Cejudo wants that fight, you know? Like, defend the belt against the real number one contender. Like, what's the point to get there? You know how hard it's so hard to get a title shot in the UFC now because you got to take risks. Now Aljamain and Peter Yan probably got to fight and take another risk to lose their spot, you know?
Yeah. And even that, like Aljamain, I guess he had the wrist injury, but he's just getting cut in the line. They were going to have Dominic Cruz cut him. If Uriah Faber won that fight against Peter Yan, he was going to cut him.
That's another thing, Dominic Cruz, bro. Like, what's going to happen if, you know, Aldo or whatever, Cejudo wins and Cruz comes back and they do him next, you know?
I love Dominic Cruz, but he hasn't fought since 2016.
Yeah.
And he he would be getting a title shot if he was ready to go right now. But he wasn't. So how do you see that fight going? Obviously, you're going to lean towards Henry. At least I am.
Yeah, I lean Henry. I feel like just more well-roundedness, you know what I mean?
If Aldo still had those leg kicks.
Yeah, I was going to say that. He, like, doesn't throw them anymore. I wonder if someone knows why, you know?
I think he broke his foot or fucked his foot up on a motorcycle, and ever since then, it seems like he stopped a little bit.
Yeah, someone mentioned that. I wonder if that's what it is, because he just didn't throw any against Marias, and it was there, too. He's moving into it.
Oh, yeah. And then something I've always seen that I do enjoy, I've watched a few of them, the boom breakdowns.
Yeah, baby. We got to get more active on those. I take breaks because I got the fight coming up, but I'm going to get back to those soon.
Yep.
Well, we need a boom breakdown on the Menace, man.
Well, even I was going to say you can hit us with a quick breakdown. It's not the biggest heavy card, so let's just get Rafael Dos Anjos versus Michael Chiesa. How you see that one going?
I give the striking advantage to Dos Anjos. I think, you know, he's got better Muay Thai and stuff like that. Chiesa's like, he's you know, they both fought at 55 before too, so no crazy size discrepancy. I think Chiesa has an advantage on the ground, but I think Dos Anjos is good enough to avoid.
Yeah,
you know,
he's a black belt.
Yeah, I
Black
lean towards Dos Anjos. Probably a decision. I think he'll outstrike him.
Menace, how you see that one going?
Man. I almost want to see how many fights they've each had.
Total?
Yeah.
Dos Anjos has more, definitely.
Because, like, we had on we had on Ryan Parsons, and, like, each fighter only has so many rounds in them.
Who are you saying might be done with the rounds? Dos Anjos?
I mean, if anything. Well, Chiesa just crushed Condit.
Yeah, that fucking
Which,
Kimura,
the same thing, like, Condit probably ran out of rounds.
Yes. I think also Chiesa at 170 is coming into his own a little bit. Dos Anjos has lost 3 of his last 4.
Yeah, which, and boom, like, I've been there, you've been in that, like, that fucks with you. Like, can I win again?
Yeah,
sure, they've been close, but, like, can I win again?
I'm going Chiesa on that one. I think Chiesa's coming into his own at welterweight, and I think he...
One thing about Dos Anjos is he shows, like, great wrestling defense, because he fought, like, Colby and, he fought Usman or no?
He fought Usman, yeah.
Man,
he lost Usman.
That's such a... Because I've sparred Dos Anjos, and I was like, am I going to die right now? With shin pads on, 16s on, and headgear? Like, I was like, man, this guy...
But that was when he was on his tear.
Yes.
When he was, like,
before
to be
he became champion.
Yeah.
I called that.
Damn.
But since then, like we talked about the rounds, like
And so the main event of this UFC Raleigh card, Curtis Blades versus Junior Dos Santos.
I'm going Curtis. We've had it on the
Yeah.
show. Do we have Dos
Yeah, I'm
Anjos?
with you.
We've had both of them on the show. Yeah,
We
yeah.
had Dos Anjos on the show. Yeah.
Who you got there,
The one
Boom?
thing, Dos Anjos has really good takedown defense too. He's hard
Hang
to
on,
get.
Dos Anjos wants to do a professional boxing match.
But just like the rounds, how many rounds Dos Anjos might be out of rounds?
I said that last time he
Yeah.
fought, and I lost. Bad.
Yeah.
This
Bad.
is heavyweight too. You know what I mean? Like
You got more rounds at heavyweight. It's weird.
Yeah.
You
Blades
get hit
was-
harder.
No, he got fucked up last time by Nagano.
I know, but just he's 40-something years old.
Who? No, Junior's still young.
How old?
Junior is 35.
Like
When
when it comes to weight cutting, like you wish you were a heavyweight, right?
Yeah.
But then when you see Francis Ngannou, you're like, I'm so blessed to not be a heavyweight.
You know what? We had more of a thing with Curtis, but I'm gonna go.
What do you mean? We hung out with Dos Anjos in Florida.
No, I'm going Dos Anjos.
Yeah. Oh, well, how did we have more of a thing with Curtis? Did we?
I think we had him on earlier in our.
Yeah, we did. But we broed out more with, what's his name?
Yeah,
Dos Anjos.
I'm going that way.
That's a
He's
tough
such
pick.
a nice guy too.
He is.
It's almost like I want to pick Dos Anjos just because we've met him, we've had him on the show, and super cool. But I think Curtis grinds him out there.
Oh, with the wrestling aspect.
Yeah, and even the ground and pound. It seems like Curtis has come into his own where first he was wrestle fucking people, but now he realized like, nah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of people while I wrestle fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's mauling people with ground and pound. That's what I was thinking too. If he can get him down, he's trouble, man.
That's like my heart is Dos Anjos, my head is Curtis Blades.
It's wild.
Yeah, you know how it is.
I got peace so bad.
So do I. So we'll take turns. You go first, and then we'll send Boom off. So, what do you want to see next for you, Brian?
You know, it actually all works out. Perfect timing. I want to get on that April 18th card in Brooklyn. That's like, a 3-month time span. That would be amazing.
Oh, yeah, and that's even what I tweeted you today. You think maybe O'Malley? O'Malley, I think, is going to fight end of February.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's a little risky of a call out. I wanted to call him out like on the mic after the fight and make an explosion, but like I kind of figured like it might be a waste of a call out because you just never know. He might get injured, something, whatever. But he might be able to turn around quick, so you might as well shoot your shot.
Yeah, his fight was tentative, not official, but now he just got cleared by Nevada because of Osterin in his system.
Yeah, so he's fighting February. A couple months later. It depends if he wants to stay active. If not, I really don't care because, like, right now, it's just about getting back to my winning ways, get a good streak going because it's really, like, I'm not in a position to, like, pick and choose at this point.
Oh, yeah. And I know you also are sponsored by Terphouse, right?
Yeah, I got Terphouse, my CBD sponsor.
Oh, yeah. We have Terphouse as a sponsor as well. Now, are you just on the CBD spectrum or are you dabbling in the THC?
I dabble here and there. I brought a little treat home from Vegas on accident,
On accident. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left it in my pants pocket, you know?
Hypothetically brought home a treat.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. So here, Menace will grab it for a moment. I'm going to use the restroom. This is how we do things here at Menace and the Man.
Hey, it's working professional right there. Smooth.
Rotation. So, Boom. Music. You love music.
Yeah, I like to write. I like to rap a little, sing a little,
What got you, what made you decide, hey, I like this a lot?
Yeah, it comes from my family heritage pretty much. Like my grandpa played trumpet his whole life. My dad played in a band. Like that's how my mom and dad met. He was playing in a band at like bars and shit, like cover songs. He plays guitar and sings himself, and like he writes songs as well. And he does like music. Like my basement has like all different like instruments and shit. And so like I was always around it, And so growing up, like I had that feel for music. It was just natural to get into it. And then for me, I just always was connected to music where like some people don't feel it as much, but I'm like, I get chills, with certain songs. So
Yeah.
I just got into music. It touches me, you know. When I train, certain songs will like give me that energy. So I started writing and just getting creative with it, and I fell in love with it.
What is your walkout song, and why?
My walkout song this fight was "Sacrifices" by Big Sean. Just to remind myself of like all the sacrifices I made, you know, throughout the years.
Do you always come at that song?
No, I switch it up usually like based off of like how I'm feeling, like leading up to the fight. I'll change it. Sometimes I'll do the same song, but this one I didn't come out to last fight.
Okay. Like me, like superstitious wise, like
Yeah.
the song that I won to last, I'll keep coming. Like so, like I came out to "Ambition" by Wale for like 7 fights straight because I kept winning.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a good
man,
one.
let me. You know, I think that's a song that stood for me. You know.
I gotta make my own walkout song.
That's what I was gonna say. When you fight for the title, you're gonna be like, Dana, I'm rapping myself out to the octagon.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Do you have your music somewhere that people can find?
Like, you know what it is?
Are you
I
on
have
Spotify, YouTube?
I have a couple songs on Spotify. I've just been slacking on like the process. I have like 12 or 13 songs officially like produced, but I have to upload them onto Spotify.
Can we get a song on Menace the Man?
I was gonna
right now. Like, can you
not
put
now.
a beat up? No, I want one. What do you mean not now?
He's all if he wants to. Yeah, I was gonna say he's
Well,
all
I mean,
stuffed up.
he could say,
I'm
"Hey,
all
Dennis, go."
congested and shit. I can't be singing right now.
But here's what I was gonna say. We had Menace's boy Anthony from where he works now, PSEG, on the show one time, spitting horrible bars.
Yeah.
That we were just like, oh my god. So we
Yeah,
need
it was
Boom
funny.
to come in, and we're gonna chop it up, and we're gonna be like Tyre Woodley challenge.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like freestyle's rough, but I could like something I wrote already. I can
Well, no,
spit,
that's what
you know?
I'm saying. Do you have something that's already written, or can you play us something that isn't on the internet that we can be like, you get it first here?
I have a song on Spotify. I don't know if you can find it. It's like Champ Shit Only. It's for Tony Ferguson right there.
Ooh, I like that.
There's that one. There's a couple on there. I forget the names, but I have like multiple songs.
Or can you give us like a bar? One bar.
One bar, man?
Like, I know you're like, jacked up.
Can I go off the screen? Because they're
Yes.
in my notes in my phone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course you
Okay,
can.
hold on. Let me see what I got in
Of course
here.
you can. He said-
Yeah, you hear me sniffling and shit?
and that's in the, we're gonna put that
Dude,
as a side note. Like, yo, man, my man's jacked up.
Well, that's what I
Listen,
was
you gotta edit out like the 1,000 sniffles I did during this thing.
No.
I got a deviated septum and a sinus fucking thing going on right now.
Oof.
All right, here I got bars for you right
Okay,
here.
okay.
All right, ready?
Do you need like a beat, or are you just gonna go a cappella?
No, I'll go acapella on this
Okay,
one.
okay.
Purpose isn't purpose if you're looking for the purses. It's the price you pay to purchase. Fucking demons and their curses. Fight them off. This is only business, man. I write them off. You don't have to listen to them. I the boss. You can change it. All you need is courage that explains it. Nothing on the side that's for my main chick. Stop complaining.
I like it.
That's a little bars for you. And I'm
like
back.
I like it.
What was that, like 12 there? Or is that a 16?
I don't know. I didn't know the count on it. I just stopped where it was done, like where I wrote.
Bro, so let's work up. Maybe we'll have you make an intro. People keep commenting on our shows. We need an intro song for Menace and the Man. So
Oh, I could do that. Yeah.
Wow.
Is there like a theme? Is there a theme you want? Or
Like, Stan's fat, out of shape.
just Menace,
And
Menace
like,
and the Man.
I'm a has-been.
Just Menace and the Man.
So talking shit about you guys.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I mean, yeah, we'll take that. Actually, talking shit about us would be actually pretty funny.
We listen
Yeah,
to like,
you
Brian,
can
are you
either go
fucking
serious-
serious with this?
Yeah,
You fucking feel that way about me?
It's
dude?
like Chael Sonnen has intro songs and exit songs about how great he is, but we'll have songs about how shitty we are.
Yeah, that shit's funny, man.
I mean, if we're
I'm
being
down.
honest, it should
I'm
be
down.
about how awesome I am and how much you're not awesome.
Oh, come on now. Some people.
Nah,
think
I'll go down with you.
Yeah.
I think we need best of both. Like,
Yeah.
We'll throw Menace and the Man. in
Menace
there.
was the man. Now he's chilling with the man.
Yeah.
Stan, he's fat. He doesn't
gotta
give a
be-
care. He'll bang your girlfriend. He doesn't
It's
care.
got to be short though, because it's going to be the intro.
But the Menace is a can. No.
We almost need like a 10-second short intro, and then we could have the outro be however long you want to do it. The credits.
Yeah, it'll be a quick verse intro
Like,
in.
Menace and the man. Dennis was a has-been. Stan is having trouble fitting in his waistband.
Yep.
There you go. That's wordplay right there.
Thank you.
And then you could be like extra large shirts. Now he's on the double XL. You know, come up with some fucking wordplay like that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get writing.
Awesome. You're the man, Kelleher. Thank you for the time.
Next time, you're sitting here. I'm like this.
Yeah, bro, we're down.
In the middle. I'm fucking standing the man sandwich, baby.
What's the next big card? The John Jones, Dominic Reyes card. So for the week,
February 15th, right?
February 8th.
Oh, 8th, yeah.
So maybe next week or that week, let's get you in here to do a boom breakdown with us.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's break down the fights. That'd be cool.
Yeah, you're not far. We're right over in West Babylon.
All right, yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm down, man.
All right, boom, you're the man. Thank you for the time.
Thanks for having me, guys. Boom, baby.
Hey, you know my number. We'll keep in touch. Whatever you need, let me know.
I'll text you, man.
Trading, talking, whatever.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yep, you know what I mean.
Take it easy, brother.
Later, guys.
Peace.
Have a good one.